Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you for joining me for this video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Bryant Young, finally getting to be inducted into the 49ers Hall of Fame, and that's going to be happening week 9. He's supposed to go sometime last year, but obviously without the fans being there, you want to definitely wait until the fans are going to be there so they can celebrate with him. So this is going to be absolutely fantastic that he's going to be able to be induced into the 49ers Hall of Fame on week 9 of this 2021 NFL season. And so just a little background over what he was able to do throughout his career. He spent his entire time in the NFL with the San Francisco 49ers, so he certainly deserves this honor here, dating back all the way to 1994. The former defensive tackle, he, in his first year at the 49ers, started all 16 games that he suited up for, ended up with 49 tackles and 6 sacks. In the 95 season, he would also have 6 sacks that year as well, although he started, 12 games, that one, which is all the ones that he suited up for. In 1996, he would go on to make his first Pro Bowl with the 49ers. And that year, he had 76 tackles with 11.5 sacks and a fumble recovery that year as well. And then in 1997, that year he had in 12 games, 45 tackles and 4 sacks, and 98 in 12 games as well. He had 9.5 sacks along with 54 tackles that year. And then 1999, that was his second Pro Bowl year with the San Francisco 49ers, in which he started all 16 games. And generally so far to this point in his career, outside of his rookie year, the 2 other seasons that he started all 16 games, he made the Pro Bowl. That just goes to show the type of impact that he had. He had 41 tackles and 11 sacks that year, and it's along with 5 pass deflects as well. The year 2000, he had 50 tackles with 9.5 sacks. He started 15 games because he suited up for 15 games. And throughout his entire career, every game that he essentially suited up for, he started. So that is significant because he was in over 200 games. In 2001, that was another Pro Bowl year for him, started all 16 games. That year had 39 tackles with 3.5 sacks, along with a forced fumble and pass defense. 2002, another Pro Bowl year for him. So at this point, he's got 4. And throughout his entire career, he got voted to the Pro Bowl a total of 4 times. So 4-time Pro Bowler there. 36 tackles along with 2 sacks that year. And in 2003, he had 35 tackles with 3.5 sacks along with a forced fumble. And in 2004, he would have 48 tackles, 3 sacks. 2005, 36 tackles, 8 sacks. 2006, he had 52 tackles and 5.5 sacks. And then his final year was in 2007, in which he had 38 tackles along with 6.5 sacks. So each and every year he was bringing it. Getting after the quarterback, going out there making tackles. He was absolutely outstanding throughout his career with the 49ers. And certainly he saw a lot of different things, throughout his time there, dating back towards the, tail end of the Steve Young era, seeing, guys like Jeff Garcia come in, Tim Rattay, and then obviously Alex Smith. So certainly, he saw a lot of things with these 49ers. Was a huge part of the success they had during that time frame, and certainly someone that deserves to be into the 49ers Hall of Fame. And so I'll go on and cover what Josh Alper says in this article, where it says, Bryant Young had to wait more than a year for his induction into the 49ers Hall of Fame, and the former defensive tackle knows, when that wait will come to an end finally. That, as I mentioned, that's going to be week 9. He was elected into the Hall in 2020, but had his induction put off until there would be fans in attendance at Levi Stadium. He said on 95.7 the game that he will be indicted during week 9, with the festivities taking place on Saturday and during Sunday's game against the Cardinals, so the division opponent Arizona Cardinals, and I'm expecting that game, barring any injuries, that should be a good game right there. So I know the 49ers are going to be pumped up to try to get that W, that week, especially for him. So that's going to be exciting to watch, then be able to celebrate that with him. And the celebration is going to be taking place in terms of festivities on that Saturday prior. So that's absolutely amazing for him. He says it's not about just me being celebrated, but he wants to make sure that the people that he have relationships with, that he played with, the organization, they're celebrated too, because everybody was a part of the success and the long tenured career he had with the 49ers. He says so it's an opportunity for him to say thank you to a lot of people that were a part of it and make sure they feel appreciated. So again, he was their first round pick in 1994 and spent 14 seasons with the 49ers. Patrick Willis and John Taylor are also slated for indictions this year. So wow, what a year it is for the 49er faithful out there to be able to celebrate with Bryant Young, and also Patrick Willis and John Taylor as well. So this is going to be a tremendous year of celebration for them. And I expect that they're going to have a tremendous season as well. So it's going to be a lot to celebrate this year. And he wants to take this opportunity to say thank you along the way, as that's extremely important. Because, I mean, the people that you meet along the way, the journey, that's what you're going to remember when it's all said and done. And so I'm sure he's definitely extremely satisfied and more than thankful for everything that he's experienced throughout his time in the NFL with the 49ers. To be able to say that you spent your entire career, that's a tremendous feat right there. And to say that you started every single game that you suited up for, not very many players can say that. So absolutely huge for him. Happy for him and the success that he has, and that he's still, around to enjoy that success. He seems to be doing pretty well for himself, post-retirement. So that bodes well right there. Well, with that being said, thank you guys so much for joining me for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and as always, as more news continues to unfold, you can be sure to find it here. So thanks again for watching, and see you guys next time.